All right, I think that's our cue. Welcome everyone to the 2020 Gold Humanism Honor Society induction ceremony. My name is Oakland. I am an alumni and member of the Humanism Society. I was inducted in 2017 and really happy, privileged, and pleasure to be here with you all today. I thought it might be a nice way to open up the ceremony. I'm going to read a poem by a physician and highly lauded humanistic poet, Rafael Campo. The poem is called Hopefully. The homeless guy who shoved his grimy cup in front of me smiled, gap-toothed, and said, "Man, you have a blessed day." I realized he was my neighbor, even as I looked away. Unasked, he gave me something, hope. In clinic, fluorescent lights abuzz, she tells me how her daughter died in childbirth. Depressed, she worries she'll turn back to drugs. She shows me pictures, tiny grandbaby, black as onyx. Her bright eyes make us hope. I had a teacher once who wouldn't leave the wards until all the work was done. He spoke in hushed tones to the drag queen draped in chaos lesions. To me, they looked hideous. He told her in her beauty there was hope. I wonder what she looks like under there. Teenagers sneer outside the ER as she passes on her way to work, in headscarf, white coat, scrubs. I wonder which patient's hand she'll warm when the rest of us give up hope. It's decorated with a rainbow flag, assorted bumper stickers. I can't walk, duh. Stairs sucks. And Desert Storm vet. And foil red, white, and blue pinwheels. Inked arms propel his flywheel chair, sweet chariot of hope. Another case of chronic pelvic pain. You don't need an interpreter, they'd said. My Spanish takes us back across the seething white-hot desert. Anything to give her kids a chance. I don't know how to translate hope. What else I learned? A classmate, U.S. Vietnamese, explained it wasn't the blood sloshing in their crammed boat that made him want to be a doctor. His surgeon father, stooped from picking strawberries, showed him work was hope. A day to celebrate. We're all still here. Among us, these undaunted heroes, told we were unworthy, deserving only grief. In healing their own wounds, they save us all. Their balm is justice. The cure they found is hope. Heartfelt congratulations to all the inductees today. Thanks so much for having me. Turn it over to Emily.
Hi everyone, I'm Emily. I am an intern this year at the Family Medicine program at Georgetown, and I was where you guys were a year ago right now. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate all of you on this high honor. You just finished 4 years of endless amounts of studying and exams to lead you to this point where you are, just about to hear your first patient say those words that make it all worth it. Doctor. It's exhilarating, humbling, exciting, and terrifying. Being just weeks from finishing my intern year, I want you to all take comfort in knowing you have been trained for what is before you. I have been so thankful for the robust training that I've received at Geisinger/TCMC, and it has truly made a difference in my intern experience. Intern year will have its new struggles and challenges, especially amidst the background of your training within a pandemic. But above all, never forget what made you fall in love with medicine. And I hope that you will always see your patient, really see them, not their labs, not their medical diagnosis, and not other labels that may have been added to them during their medical journey, such as non-compliant, drug seeker, or difficult. You'll be there on the worst days of your patients' lives. You have to have tough conversations with loved ones. You have to fight tooth and nail to get your patient's necessary medication covered from insurance. But you must not forget who you are doing this all for. The voice on the other end of who is calling you their doctor. You are amongst the top percentage of students in your class in a school that already pre-selects those who echo humanism in medicine. Take the skills you've developed, build on it, and really lean into what next year holds for you. When needed, always bring yourself back to those topics you all wrote about in your essays. Congratulations on a huge accomplishment. We can't wait to see what's in store for all of you. Congratulations, everyone.
And congratulations to each of you for being inducted into the Gold Humanism Honor Society. I'd like to start by reading your names. Gina Marie Biamonte. Caitlin Bavino Ring. Christina Lake Borham. Esther Good. Nathan Anton Huff. Amelia Marie McCary. Samuel Mellitz. Victoria Allen O'Brien. Zachary Sporn. Vanessa Rebecca Thiel. Matthew Werrick. Harrison David Winters. Eunice S. Yang. And our faculty inductees for this year are Francis Dennis Doggart and Dominic Zampino. Congratulations to each of you. Well deserved.
Hi, everyone, and congratulations. Please read with me the Gold Humanism Honor Society Oath. I pledge by all that I hold dear as a physician. I will care for my patients with compassion, respect, empathy, integrity, and clinical excellence. I will listen to my patients with my whole being. I will advocate for each patient as a unique individual. I will serve as a role model and mentor to promote humanism in healthcare. I will remember always the healing power of acts of caring. I will dedicate myself to joining with others to make healthcare optimal for all. My best to all of you, and I'm so proud of everyone.
Hi, good afternoon. It's Dr. Dennis Doggart. I have the honor today, dual honor of being inducted into the Gold Humanism Society as a faculty member and of briefly addressing my fellow inductees who at one point or other I have taught in their career at medical school. It's an interesting phenomenon. It is my privilege to address you on your induction into the Gold Humanism Honor Society. To me, this is probably the highest honor you can receive in medical school. You're nominated by your peers, selected by the faculty. The award is given to approximately 10% of the graduating class. So I offer my congratulations to all of you on being chosen for this award. I want to tell you how proud I am of all of you. Your class has the unique distinction of graduating in the year of COVID-19. None of us in the audience have ever experienced anything like this before that has been occurring in medicine over the last several months. This pandemic has offered numerous challenges and altered many expectations. You have had to change events such as Match Week, graduating in the company of your classmates, and other events and celebrations that should have been part of the normal culmination of your 4 years of study and hard work. Change and uncertainty will clearly be part of your life going forward in medicine. Just pause and think of those who graduated last year or the year before, your friends and colleagues who you know well. When they were sitting in your seats last year, how many of them thought they'd be out there on the front line working in this epidemic? I'm betting probably not a single one of us had this in mind at this point last year. The Gold Humanism Society recognizes and honors its inductees for many qualities that make up a great physician. Among them are altruism, the trait of putting others' needs before your own, Empathy, which is the ability to share with another and appreciate what they're going through, to understand and acknowledge their unique fears, anxieties, and sufferings. Lifelong learning, taking that knowledge that you have acquired, expanding it, and using it in new and innovative ways to care for your patients. And I would add resilience, the ability to adapt and adjust to change. Clearly, your class has had to be resilient in your years. You've lost campuses, you've had to make last-minute changes in living space arrangements, and now you're adapting to virtual and telemedicine. I suspect that in coming years, when they turn to the word resilience in the new Webster Dictionary, there'll probably be a picture of the class of 2020 from Geisinger Commonwealth there, showing what resilience really is. These are some of the characteristics you have all demonstrated. I can never address students without thinking of the plaque in the lobby at the medical school that reads, "To cure sometimes, to relieve often, to comfort always." This is our work. This is our first and greatest commandment. I know each of you, and I know that you have taken these words to heart, and you will continue to live by them as you go forward when you leave our school. I would like to close. All of you know or have heard of the story of the farmer in Kansas who discovered N95 masks in his barn, 5 of them. He gave them to his family and had one left over, which he sent with a letter to Governor Andrew Cuomo in New York, asking him to give it to someone in the medical profession who was on the front line of coping with COVID-19 pandemic. He was doing this because he knew that there was a shortage of protective equipment and masks and that it was needed, but he didn't know anyone who could use it, so he was sending it to Governor Cuomo. This beautiful, touching, heartwarming story reveals the kind of spirit that I believe is in all of you and that you have shown over the years with us at the medical school. You have displayed your gifts of self-sacrifice, caring for others, passion for learning and growing, and most of all, willingness to share your talent, knowledge, skills with others, despite personal risks. These are the true hallmark of humanism. Thank you for your wonderful examples that you have shown us during your years at Geisinger Commonwealth. And as you graduate and go forward, I wish you all good luck and may God be with all of you. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel. I graduated in 2018, finishing my second year of residency at West Virginia University in the emergency medicine program. Just want to say congratulations to the new inductees to the Gold Humanism Honor Society. I know this is not the ceremony, end of year, or practically anything you anticipated, but it is a time to celebrate you. You should be so incredibly proud of yourselves for this accomplishment so early in your medical careers. You're entering medicine at an interesting and challenging time, a time of uncertainty, anxiety, and fear, all of which can be overcome by a unified sense of purpose. We are not the underdogs in this fight. At this age in healthcare, the science community of the entire world is bringing its resources to bear against this singular goal. But while science will defeat this virus, it is compassion that will allow human beings to survive. As you begin your medical career, I encourage you to remember that your patients are people too. Sometimes, due to restrictions at institutions, patients are forced to be alone in the hospital. Make sure they're never alone while under your care. You must show compassion and kindness. Patients will remember you, the doctor who offers comforting words, a hand to hold, and who is there so they are not alone in their suffering. Their families will also remember you, the empathy in your voice during a difficult phone call, the care you give, and the compassion with which you give it. As always, remember the values instilled in you throughout your medical training and the oath you took today. There is a reason you are chosen to represent the Gold Humanism Honor Society, and in your career, you will continually prove it with each new case and with each new patient. I encourage you to strive to continually learn to become more knowledgeable about difficult topics, learn to deliver bad news, learn to be as empathetic as possible. Congratulations on such an incredible accomplishment, and best of luck as you begin your journey in our noble profession. And remember, Have some heart.
Hello and good afternoon. My name is Ellie Boyle, and I'm a 2019 Geisinger and Gold Humanism alum. And I'm currently an intern in internal medicine at Thomas Jefferson University. I find stories to be a powerful medium for reflection, so with the short time I have with you, I figured I would share a story. About a month ago, I was admitting patients on a general medicine service. Around 5:30, my team got 4 admissions in a row, so we decided to divide and conquer. I was charged with seeing the patient with neurosyphilis, or syphilis in the brain. As I perused his chart before I saw him, something caught my eye: HIV positive. As I delved deeper, I found that he was just diagnosed with HIV 4 hours prior. Recognizing that this might be an emotional encounter, I made my way to his room. On arrival, I quickly discovered the infection had ravaged his eyes and his ears, such that I had to scream at him for him to hear me. My stomach grumbled as I spoke with him and the patient, and I could feel this intangible pressure to complete my exam as my teammates were waiting for me downstairs. Around 8 p.m., after an hour or more of allaying his fears and fielding questions about his sight and hearing, if he could ever work construction again, and if he had to tell his daughter or ex-wife about his diagnosis, we were both exhausted. I left the hospital heavy-hearted. The next day when I came to see him, something he said struck me. "You're my doctor, right, Dr. Boyle?" "Yeah, I'm your doctor. Why?" "You're the only one who spent time with me. Everyone else has asked their questions and left. I just want to know if I'm going to hear or see normally again." This reminded me of a quote by Anatole Broyard. "To most physicians, my illness is a routine incident in their rounds, while for me, it's the crisis of my life. I would feel better if I had a doctor who at least perceived this incongruity." So my message to you, Gold Humanism inductees, is that during residency, your time is going to be spread thin, and you're going to be pulled in 1,000 different directions all at once. It's imperative to spend your time in a fashion that makes your career sustainable. When my patient said, "You're my doctor, right?" it struck a chord. It proved that spending that extra time with a vulnerable patient was well worth it. Find what's worth it for you, continue to practice that during residency, and you will have fulfilling careers. I'm sure of it. Thanks again for having me, and congratulations.
Okay. Normally, I'm much more comfortable being behind the scenes. For those of you who know me know that to be true. But since we have time, I just wanted to say how incredibly proud I am of all of you. And I know I echo the words of all the faculty, staff, fellow students when we say that this is definitely something that you've earned, and definitely something that is your calling and that you're going to be able to take forward with you for years to come. Again, I know this isn't the ceremony that we typically have, but maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing at this point. So I want to thank you all for participating. I want to thank you all for being such incredible humans. And I want to thank everyone, Dr. Boyle, Dr. Polinsky, Dr. Delp, Dr. Walters, for participating as well. I guess if it wasn't for the virtuality, we wouldn't have been able to have you with us. So thank you for being able to do that. Thank you, Dr. Doggart, for a wonderful keynote. Thank you, Professor Triano and Dr. Shetty for participating as well. To all of your friends and family that have supported you along the way, thank you for giving me these incredible people that I've known for at least 4 years, some a little bit longer. They really have touched my lives in a way that I can't even give back. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm gonna go before I cry, but if anyone wants to unmute themselves and say anything, please feel free to do so, because we definitely have the time. So if you want to unmute yourself, if you want to clap, if you want to cheer each other on, please do so.
Amy, before you go, can we do one of those group pictures?
Yes, can we get a screenshot? Can somebody take a screenshot? Anybody who's a little more tech savvy than I am, please.
Heather is doing it.
I can do it. Oh wait, someone else do it.
Did we